Midday.
And good morning. Thank you for joining us for KBOI 2 News Midday. I'm Brian Moore, and we're going to get right to your top 11 stories at 11. Nampa police saying they have a possible suspect in the death of Akrian Evans. He was found shot to death inside a home in the 4100 block of Garrity this past Saturday. The person they're looking for is in his late 30s, early 40s, with wiry dark hair pulled into a ponytail. Investigators have reason to believe this man buys, sells, and trades wooden pallets. He was last seen in a white pickup truck. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 343-COPS. Well, a man is caught after leading police on a chase near Star. It started after drivers reported an SUV driving erratically and pointing a gun out the window. That started near Can Ada Road when Ada County Sheriff's deputies tried to pull the man over for suspected DUI. He took off. Police gave chase. He crashed near Highway 16.
So we were asking him to go to the ground, giving him commands to go to the ground and basically put his hands out so we could see them. And he would not do that, would not comply, would reach behind him. So we at one point deployed the bite dog, and the dog actually took him to the ground.
Sheriff's deputies say the man did not have a gun in the car with him when he was arrested. The suspect was taken to the hospital with minor injuries related to the crash and bites from the dog. The Ada County Sheriff's Office says he will be booked into jail after he is released. Mountain Home Air Force Base is doing away with a portion of its fire service. The fire chief there says he has too many trucks and firefighters on the base. The previous mission was to support B-10 bombers in case one caught fire. Those are much larger planes, but they've been gone now for more than a decade. The base doesn't need as much firepower for the smaller F-15s. The potential impact to safety in the region in just a bit. And gunmen attacked Tunisia's parliament complex today, killing 19 people, including 17 tourists, and taking other visitors hostage in a nearby museum. Security forces surrounded at least 2 militants in a museum in central Tunis, a venue that is often packed with foreigners. Tunisia has largely avoided this kind of violence since the Arab Spring, as you'll recall, back in 2011, where violence broke out in Egypt, Syria, and Libya. The Secret Service is trying to figure out who sent a letter filled with cyanide to the White House. The letter was received at a mail facility Monday. It contained a vial filled with a milky substance. It tested positive for cyanide. The Secret Service is not saying who that letter was addressed to. One of the suspects charged in the kidnapping and murder of a Nampa man is due in court today. Prosecutors say Angelo Cervantes took part in the abduction and killing of Jeffrey Dyer. Cervantes faces a slew of charges, including robbery, kidnapping, and first-degree murder. Prosecutors say the pair killed Dyer because he owed them $700 for drugs and because he was, quote, disrespectful. 2,000 migrating snow geese have died in eastern Idaho. Wildlife officials say it's likely from avian cholera. Fish and game officers are working to clean up the carcasses in hopes of keeping the disease from spreading.
The important part is they died, and now for us the next important thing is to stop whatever they may have had from being spread to other local birds or other migratory birds.
While the death of these birds is alarming, it's likely not detrimental to the overall bird population. Wildlife officials say the number of snow geese is actually up right now. Information belonging to 11 million people could be at risk following a cyber attack at Primera, which manages accounts for Blue Cross. This affects anyone who's had Primera at any time since 2002. The hacked information includes social security numbers, addresses, and bank accounts. Primera says there are signs that hackers accessed the network as far back as last May of last year, but the company didn't discover the hack until January. The company says there's no evidence that any information was actually stolen. They are providing customers with 2 years of free credit and identity theft protection. It's madness. March Madness, of course. The BSU men's basketball team is going toe-to-toe against the Dayton Flyers tonight. Boise State is 2,000 miles from home, but the Broncos are familiar with Dayton. In this national tournament, teams are not supposed to have a home court advantage. So while some may be up in arms over this, Coach Rice doesn't see it as that big of a deal.
I think the media has made a big issue out of it, but I
College basketball players want to play basketball, and we get an opportunity to play basketball here.
All right, and they're getting that chance to play. Tip-off is tonight at 7:10, and you can see the game on our sister station, True TV. Legislative leaders thought they could adjourn and go home on March 27th, but for many, that deadline now seems undoable. The big issues are funding for transportation and education. Senator Jeff Sidaway vows to kill any tax relief bill unless teachers get $4,000 starting pay salary.
Senator Sidaway is a reasonable guy, and I think that hopefully we can find some kind of resolution there. Maybe not, but I'm an optimist.
And that was $40,000 starting pay, of course. Lawmakers are making progress on the tiered sex offender registry. The bill would establish 5 categories for sex offenders. Those who've committed more severe crimes and who are more likely to offend again would have harsher requirements. If passed, it passed the Senate and is now on the way to the House.
Around. I've never seen a fat skateboard. We're trying to get our kids more active, and the great things about skateboarding are it activates these young people.
Boise City leaders looking into the idea of turning 2 municipal pools into skate parks. Lowell Pool and South Pool are the ones they're considering. A Portland company gave the project a rough estimate of $250,000 to add ramps and make the pools skateboard friendly. The mayor pointed out the plans are still fairly fluid.